good afternoon. Welcome back to me, to my channel. My name is True Blue Thai. I live in Thailand. I'm a big Man City fan, as you probably can see. Like earlier, my big ship, my Man City ship, and talk about everything and feelings about the game, etc. For instance, I am an old man, as you can see, and for instance, I've been in Thailand now 3 years, and for instance, I miss my football club. I miss going to the games. Miss my season card, for instance. And I'm not one of these big texters, etc. For instance, and so I'd rather come out and talk. I'm a Rodri, so for instance, I'm not using social media, even though YouTube is social media. But I like to talk and express feelings. I don't think you can do a text. I don't know this. I'd rather come out and say something. If you criticise a player, I'd rather come out and express myself. So me. It's always, but it's cold in the evenings. Anyway, so there's some noise in the background. This is the kids. We live in the Thai area and in Pattaya, the area. And so, for instance, I'm here. And anyway, so for instance, living in Milan, lived over but still okay. But my sister's 7. My bill played at the moment. So anyway, so I'm here to talk about the game. I've listened to a few of guys now, and I've listened to likes for John from TikTok. Listen to Sky News and see what they say. Jamie and since London, listen to and all the YouTube do and from what they had today of the game. That's just biased nonsense, and I'm not going to listen to to quite a lot of things and about Manchester City, our 4th defeat, four peak for Premier League defeats, and now we're at a 4 peak for first time Pep's happened to Pep. I'm just looking at a plane going over, and it's a bit of a shock to the system. And again, for instance, trying to analyze, and the reason why I've not started before because I'm 7 years in front of you guys. So I think I'm matching the game, and since but the thing is with those things, I don't want to. Lewis is a Hughes match as well as Johnny is, for instance. Great game, and that initial feedback, etc., of initial anger and initial, which is understandable, feelings about game, etc. From that we got a 4 peak loss, and Lewis is talk about wins. He likes to talk about win, play a race, but now 4 defeats in a row. Convict, by the way, it's the main and guys rent motorbikes and drive crazy, and then smash into things and cry and go ooh. Anyway, so it makes a hell of a smell and noise. That is a cockroach. Okay, we got wild dogs over here as well. It's all full of the fair here. For instance, it's not boring living here. I tell you right. If you Right. There you go. Now, Thai people think they think ghosts see ghosts. My lady, for instance, when she goes, every time she hears a towel, it's a ghost. They normally do it. So yeah, that's gonna go. Birds. So yeah, really. Flying around my feet. So welcome to Thailand. So cracking on. Where was it? You puffy little buggers. Anyway, so um, for instance, yeah. So for instance, I've listened to the mass reaction. I would not even say reactions because it's an actual feeling reaction. These black guys love their football club, and to watch football club efforts to try to break feet is very, very just and must be difficult. So and to see it, and so I yeah, I feel very bad about you know what happened. So you can totally understand why they're feeling so bad um, about the game. Um, I still say things such as which probably won't mean, but probably have a him feel at the time. But because I was listening to ESPN as well, and thing I was saying, I not just one thing, a lot of things. I think for like uh, um, right, so easy, but God is hanging out, because playing rough form, players injured, players small, tiny issues. Playing 3 games a week. The last two Premier League games, playing against two teams who have not who've not played midweek, where Man City have. Is it an excuse? No, because I think Man City, unlike Arsenal, Liverpool, and whatever United especially, don't come up with excuses. We're not an excuse kind of people. But what we are is, for instance, we're trying to we'll accept it. We can accept the amount of games we're in. We want to win all the trophies. So got to play a lot of games. But a lot of things are happening now. For instance, there was an unsettled and unsettled beginning of the season. We had players coming back from different uh, different times. We have played youth squad, for instance, the Charity Shield, etc. You can see there. For instance, the players will come back from international duty from the Euros late, and then we were getting from injuries, and we've really not had a great start, settled squad, but we had a good start to the season. So what's it called? But for instance, but there was throughout the games as it gone on, we were lucky to get the results. Southampton were lucky to get Fulham were lucky to get the result. Wolves were lucky to get the result. So so the issues have been there. They've just, it's like having a hole or something like in your like in a water pipe, etc. For instance, if you don't address the little tiny little etc., it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think, for instance, I wouldn't say we have not been addressing. It's not things that it just allow things have just got on. Just another hole has appeared, another issue has appeared, another thing has appeared. So and is it a crisis? No. For instance, I think sometimes the English language. I've lived overseas for many years. One thing you understand is, for instance, what I feel and understand is the English language gets abused a lot, absolutely 100% by English people. And what's it called? I don't know if it's education. I don't know what it is, but where they come out and saying phrases and words, the using an over-expressive word to or say a word out of context. For instance, and yeah, it just it doesn't come out For instance, in the way it should be. It's not. It's not. It's taking something which should be like a 5 and put it on a 10. You understand what I mean? And I think that's what a lot of people do, for instance, especially English people do. For instance, I don't know if it's lack of education, it's a lack of, for instance, clarification and what's it called on words, etc., understanding the meanings, the oh my god, they help everything. So rather than actually putting things in, using a smaller word to put things into context, or context word. So, for instance, so the word crisis, when you think of crisis, like humanitarian crisis, you're talking, for instance, if you're on a ship, etc., and it was lost and it was sinking, that's a crisis. You could say that. You were in the Titanic, etc. For instance, crisis. You're on a plane, it's lost all its engine, diving into the water. That's a crisis. For instance, Manchester City losing 4 in a row is not a crisis. What it is the inevitability of situations which have happened, of small situations allowed to get bigger, or not. I wouldn't say not even been addressed. Not buying a second striker, not replacing, getting more help for Rodri. But then we lost Rodri, for instance. Not overseeing, but then again, you could at the time, etc. You say it's okay saying foresight, but sometimes you probably maybe a little bit of foresight, getting a big squad to cope with injuries. And he doesn't like it, but Pep's just going to have to suck it up. And what's going on, the players don't want to, for instance, don't want to play, then just leave, for God's sake. But don't. But you've got to have a bigger squad just in case you get injuries. Maybe they'll just, Pep will come out here, a different man, and say, listen, maybe I need more players. Maybe I need more of this, or whatever. Maybe Tiki's look at it and say, yeah, we should have got an extra striker to help Haaland out. Maybe we should have done this, maybe we should have done that. But because of the small things, no striker, no help for Rodri, for instance, no midfield, not in a big squad. When we got injuries, then we got personal issues. As players got personal issues, and it's all in, and it's affecting things on the pitch. And once you a little spiral, it starts going down, 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 and then the players are not playing, not scoring goals. For instance, they were talking about who scores. If it wasn't for Haaland scoring the goals, who is scoring the goals? You would expect Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan. You would expect, for instance, Bernardo Silva to have at least one. But nobody's Phil Foden, for instance. Nobody's knocking in the goals. So there's you could talk about what's Manchester City's issues, and you could say here at least 10. For instance, I think there's a lot of issues we have at the moment, etc. For instance, for instance, and I think maybe if we started winning again, winning will probably solve out these issues. You when you're a losing streak, for instance, and you're worrying about your defence, you're worrying about this, and you worry about that. So what do we need to do? For instance, to me, for instance, I think, for instance, we need to get as many players fit as possible. B, for instance, we need leaders. For instance, stand up leaders in the dressing room, and to assist help of the captains. They all need to stand up and get the players together. Say, listen, we're Manchester City. We've been here before. We've done it. We need to, come on. We need to get this. We need to, come together as a team. Right? And so, for instance, we need to put in. And for instance, and yeah, and then it's up to the club then in January to go out and buy Zubimendi if you can. They were looking at for instance, that way 30 million. For instance, I heard yesterday, if we're going to get this guy from Italy, get him. And just you need to spend money in the transfer window in to get help, because that's what we need at the moment, help. Okay, for instance, we need help in the midfield. We need help. Let's go with Haaland up front. We need help. So, for instance, and even if you get a defender, for instance, but we have Bob Berry in as well. So let's go. So if we can get through to January and Tiki gets out and does it, as a football club, we need to come together. And what's it called? So, for instance, Peps needs to get the captains together, get the team together, and get them to work on the issues, on the problems, the defensive issues. If we're having a massive issue with defence, we can't do but play the way the Pep wants to play. We've got to stay back. In the first 45 minutes of yesterday's game, I thought we were very good. I thought we played very well. Up to 60 minutes, I looked at Brighton and I expected more from Brighton. Well, they didn't let me down because they came back and, what's it go for the last 20 odd plus minutes, etc. They showed who they are. But they had defensive issues as well. But they had guys coming back. The guys who came back, thanks. The guys who, for instance, who came on for us, Kevin De Bruyne, for instance, and Bernardo Silva, didn't have that impact as the, what's it called, as that Pedro and the what's it called, the guy, for instance, the new, for instance, had for Brighton. Um, and there you go. But up to that time, etc., we were winning. For instance, I think they had no shots on goal in the beginning end of the first half. For instance, City had all the shots, the possession, most corners, etc. For instance, we were the better team by far, by far. I was very comfortable. I was actually thinking we're going to chance to a break. Oh, top of the league, blah blah blah. Okay, and then yeah, and then for instance, in 20 minutes, boom, boom. It's very similar to what happened midweek, Sporting, and it was like, oh my god, and here we go. And for instance, and I'm not going to put the blame on Rico. For instance, he was at fault. I don't want to do too much on that. For instance, um, and again, if you look at the stats and the possessions of what and of we had 4 corners to 0, shots on goal. We had more shots off target. We had 6 shots on target, not finishing at taking our chances. Again, the guys waiting for one guy to score. Phil Foden was wayward in his shooting. For instance, good in the first half, went a bit missing in the second half. Why are you not turning up more, Phil? For instance, another player off colour. Kevin De Bruyne came on, etc. Didn't make much of an impact. Never did a few wayward shots, etc. But again, for instance, I thought it was a very strange keeping Nunes on, who was clearly not playing well, and taking, for instance, Savino off, who was getting all the chances and the crosses, even though for instance, his finish is not very good. In the what's it called, in the first half especially. So leaving Nunes on, except he was on a yellow, for instance, and it was clearly easy. My that kept it took Savino off and left Nunes on. But again, for instance, we don't know what's going on around the scene. I think that's what frustrates a lot of it, is the fact that we know who's not. Kanji and he on the bench, and normally they would start, but they must not be fit. Now, according to Lewis, he was saying, well, if they're on the bench, they're fit. Well, yeah. Well, obviously they didn't play him, so there must be an issue. So, and they're not going to play in their international break, etc., because they're not being kind up for their own country. So, why not give him a go? Why not give him a shot? Okay, but I agree with Lewis there. But I disagree with Lewis, etc. The fact that there must be an issue which we don't know about, because you can't start with, for instance, Puse and Lewis in your back four with Joshua Valley and Walker, who's clearly not 100% fit and he's getting pelters. First half he was good. Second half he gave the ball away a few times, and he wasn't good. And Lewis talked about selling him in January. I think that's a bit OTT, but again, he's emotional, which is understandable for he is. But I just don't. I think, for instance, I don't understand why he's going to England first. If he's not fit, I don't want him to play in England. If he's playing in England, etc., and he's not, and he's saying he's not 100%, well, what the bloody else is he playing for England? Just unbelievable. Just how you hope Kyle comes back and Walker and Jack comes back from England, and then go away, get yourself sorted, get yourself, for instance, head right, etc., and come back for Spurs, for instance, when we play next. So, but I just think, for instance, maybe Rodri comes over, for instance, and has a chat with the players. Gets them together. Come on, you City, for instance, and explain to them who we the hell we are. And it's yeah, yeah. So I'm a little bit tired myself. You say, for instance, the game. I think it was about 3 a.m. by the time I got to sleep. Um, but at least I'm gonna have a bit, a bit of steam now. There's no Man City games. Just killer. You think, oh, you're lucky bug. You live in Thailand, mate. What's it called? The games are on at 3 a.m. in the morning. It's yeah. And then this place opens up at 6 a.m. So for instance, every single morning, yeah, and with dogs and chickens and you name it. And so, uh, but no, but I say looking at the Brighton, I thought Brighton in the first half, etc., but didn't offer really much. Didn't we were very very quiet. Amex. I was texting a friend, etc. For instance, who lives over here. For instance, and I was saying he was quiet Amex, and for instance, I thought we played very well. In for instance, but in the second half, in a couple of substitutes, but there you go, different story. So it's yeah. Uh, Again, for instance, I like guys call give player ratings on them, and and like all the information he I was talking about. I just think, for instance, because I'm gonna make more than one video. So I'm not gonna. You're gonna hear me from every single day now. For instance, because to get a piece. But you're gonna hear from me every day, because again, for instance, I think it's therapy. It's good to for me get myself up a bit. Sun, a balloon my sun, and helps me as well. Going on a run tomorrow, going to swim in the sea. For instance, that helps me. Bit of yoga on the beach. The Russian women want to copy me like they did yesterday. It was quite funny. Doing a bit of yoga, and there they were. Don't know why they bother. For instance, they can't do it. But anyway, but it's funny. But no, I the point where I want to be the next or the next 2 weeks, the 23rd. Uh, they were still in second position. It's not as regarding this Forest win today. We'll still finish the what's it called going to final. So since and we'll final champion beating. But so the reason like, yeah, guys can get. I'm a travel when against Southampton. It was best performance and and get the and start shifted. Really, come on, guys. You've been for. Pep was going to sign a with players and motivated for him. But players don't want to play for him or motivate for him. They want to leave. His contact has already been signed off, and since he always signs it over the international break in November. We'll see. It's going to be. I'm not overly nervous because I've been here before, and I'm Man City since I'm 60 years old. I've been Man City since I said like Finch can talk, and I've the ups with the Bills, some of the era to the down low. For instance, yeah, Stuart Pearce, Alan Ball, and you know, been on that ball shirt. It's take Mason on the shirt. Still get to blue. Not or feel uh, he's crap. He's well to when substance all play. If you want to play out, he's really big. You know what I mean? Come on. It's like offer a solution. Who are you going to get in? What's the reason for him being crap? Blah, blah, blah. Whatever. Is he not playing well? But then again, Kevin De Bruyne, is he playing well? Is he Phil Foden playing well? Is Diaz playing well? Is Ilkay Gundogan playing well? If we're going to call one player, I might as well call 10 players out. That's the reason why I don't want to do a kind of like, I want to, it's Manchester City, it's the collective. There's about 10 things, issues here. Small issues, which can be fixed very quickly, bigger issues, which needs to be addressing. Okay, but I think you can't just say it was one player, or a system, or for instance, it's the manager. With United, it's Ten Hag, but then again, I think it's also United is the problem is the United, not just Ten Hag. Okay, but for instance, and I think this Bruno guy, for instance, he's going to have issues. He's going to be, wait, whatever. For instance, and because if United don't change their attitudes, they'll just be the way they are. But United now think everything's wonderful now. City's losing. We've got Bruno in. Blah 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 blah. Everything's going to be wonderful because we're playing Leicester at home, to which they should be beating, and handsomely and comfortably. Okay. So, but especially if they want ambitions now of getting to the top four or top six, as they're talking about, deluded, totally deluded. But yeah, so I think it's a tough time being a City fan at the moment. Uh, Always a pleasure. I loved it. I've always loved it. Always felt always happy. Blue eyes, blonde hair, blue, always blue. Um, but yeah, for instance, yeah, I'll have a chat again tomorrow, for instance, and see what we've learned, and see if that I can listen to somebody, for instance, who's going to make some more of it. See see what we've got. Again, there's rumours of Edison, for instance, a deal for Edison in the January. So Tiki needs to stand up. Pep needs to stand up. The players definitely need to stand up. The captain needs to sit down with other players and say, okay, we're Man City. The players need to come back. This international bin off this goddamn international break, for God's sake. Who cares about it? I don't. I certainly won't be watching it. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, or 3 o'clock in the morning for me. Do you think I'm going to be watching crappy old England? What? If I watch England, I watch it on the highlights. Because it's more interesting. So I can't know why England fans go to England. They really don't. Just pay all this money on a Wednesday night to go to watch England. God damn it. England versus Albania or something like that. God, what a snooze. And yeah. And Harry Kane. But no, no, I'm blue. I'm Manchester, for instance. I'm the champions, and for instance, I still have faith in my club, etc. For instance, we'll bounce back, and we'll bounce back well. I think Bosco will get issues, but the thing is, Bosco we've had issues before, and Bosco will come back strong. This is a one long ass season, and many teams. There's going to be a lot of twists and turns, ups and downs. It's going to be like the Blackpool roller coaster. The what would you call it? What was it called? The Grand National. If you don't know it, for instance, there's a rickety old roller coaster. For instance, a pretty scary one as well. And because it only has a bar and it pulls you, and you're out of your seat. And it goes up and down and up and down, up and down. These two traces go up and down. So once it goes, and I think there's a lot more ups and downs to go. Liverpool are doing well at the moment. Hold on to them. For instance, I don't think Lewis and Hugh and a few others saying it's not sustainable. See, but they're not doing too bad at the moment. I think Aston Villa are showing their kind of like because the extra game of the week, the Champions League game. So, but you know, and Arsenal need to do something against Chelsea today to keep themselves in touch of Liverpool and City, of course. But yeah, so for instance, and if they get stuffed, the today, for instance, the highlight might be more on them than City, hopefully. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave you. For instance, so the cat from Thailand, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. And see if anyone wants to like and subscribe, you're more than welcome to. For instance, again, I'll try and get some sleep so I can have less bags under my eyes, etc. But I'll see. But if I have any news, I'll talk to you tomorrow about it, or for instance, or my more reflections, because I like to look at everything, the big picture, rather than just the, it's that the reason why it's injuries, because it's not just injuries. It's clearly not just injuries, and there's other things going on. Hugh was talking about, in conspiracy theories or something, or not too much about it, but certain things. Some people are coming out and saying players don't want to play for Pep. Not buying it. Not buying it. I think Johnny was saying about ITK. You need to step up. You can't just tweet this and say this. But we'll see. See what comes out in the wash as the time goes on. Still got great faith in my football club, and to to come out of it. Anyway, guys, I love you. Leave you. Talk to you tomorrow. Have a good evening. Good wherever you are. Good day. As another motorbike goes flying by, 80 kilometers an hour is supposed to be. They fly ridiculous speeds. Honestly, madness, absolute madness. Very, very dangerous roads in Thailand. You've got to make it careful. It's your life. You've only got one of these, two of these. God, why do you want to risk it for a motorbike ride? Madness. Anyway, I must be getting old. Guys, love you and leave you. I'll speak to you again tomorrow.